Welcome, Wizards and Warriors, to the new year. And new year means new cards. But first, we have 6 balance changes, 4 skins, and 11 brand new cards just for you guys. I think you're gonna like it. I hope you're hungry, because there's a lot on your plate tonight. Both infinite damage glitches are getting patched. The first one was when a table and a chameleon would copy the table, making both of them attack, because this card would attack, forcing this card to attack, forcing this card to attack, being infinite damage. This is getting patched. The table will now attack, forcing all of its teammates to attack, but once a card is attacked, it is not allowed to attack again. Meaning, if the chameleon also had the table ability, when it attacks, it would make all of the teammates that haven't attacked attack again, which in this case would be none of them, because the table's already done that, meaning there is no infinite damage with this. The next glitch was with 2 cards that deal damage back to each other, being, for instance, Cactus and Light Skeleton. If the Cactus was to hit the Light Skeleton, it would reflect damage back, meaning the Outlaw Cactus would reflect damage back, which means the Light Skeleton would reflect damage back, and so on. This is getting changed, where it'll only be the first of those hits that will be reflected. So, the Outlaw Cactus will deal damage, it will get reflected, meaning this ability will then activate, being 2 damage back, but that 2 damage will not get reflected, because he already reflected something in that move. Of course, if I attack it on this go, and it reflects, and then for my second move, I somehow attack again, that would still be reflected. It is just in the same move where it would be a back and forth, they only activate once. Starting off the balance changes, Thanksgiving Turkey is now at 7 HP. Watchtower now has, on placement, you get to view 1 card from every opponent of your choice from their hand, along with its normal ability, where every new card drawn gets to be shown to you. Dice now starts at 2 damage, which means it'll be 2 plus the dice roll. Appleworm is getting a huge buff. The first attack to the card will be quarter damage, and while it's below 6 HP, all attacks towards this card will deal half damage. Now, Goblin Treasure has gone up to 10 HP, and its first attack does double damage. Now, the last balance change is something you guys have been asking for a while. The Log of Goblins has gone up to 25 HP, and has a team-up ability where all of your Goblin cards gain plus 2 damage for any Goblin card in play. This would mean that if you had all 6 Goblin cards, then all of your Goblin cards would be getting plus 12 damage. Plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 damage, because there are 6 goblins in play, and this is regardless of who the goblins belong to. Only your goblins will be getting the buff, but it's plus 2 for any goblins that are in play. This also goes for a card that can copy anything. If they copy anything, HP, damage, or ability, from a goblin card that classes them as a goblin, meaning it would help this team-up ability. The bonus damage is not written down, so here the bonus damage is 2, 4, 6 damage. However, I would not write 9 here, or a 7 here. The bonus damage is added when you attack. That means any cards that copy will not be copying the bonus damage, they'll be copying the base damage. Now for the 4 skins. The first one is simply a blue light skeleton. The second one for the cauldron. Now you can have the cooking pot. For the pumpkin knight instead, you can have the DIY knight, being 4 damage box cutter. And for the shrink potion, instead, you can have the squash and stretch potion. To reiterate, they do not change any of the stats or abilities of the cards, it is purely cosmetic. Now for the 11 brand new cards. We're gonna go a bit quick. So, starting off we have Scaredy Cat, 9 HP, 3 damage, Frightened Furball. Wait, is it a cat? Anyway. After getting hit, it hides for 1 turn. While it's hidden, opposing cards can't play spells on it or attack it. So when it gets hit, it will go into a hidden state where opponents cannot hit it. That means a Minotaur won't be able to hit it, along with the fact that a Minotaur won't be getting the bonus damage because it is technically not there. However, while it's hidden, it can still attack cards. Have the Fireflies, a permanent spell. Place it on any card, poisoning their entire team at the end of every your turn. Damage all of their cards, where the damage is equal to half of the damage of the card you played them on. Robocrow does 4 damage, so if I played the Fireflies onto the Robocrow, it'd be dealing half of its damage. That also goes for if they have increased damage, so currently it'd be doing 2 damage to their entire team. However, if I was to play on a Rusty Wizard, it would be dealing half of 6, so 3 damage to their entire team. From the same witch that brought you Pumpkin Knight and Outlaw Cactus comes Swamp Sludge, 20 HP, 1 damage with its Bog Ball. After 3 turns, this card blows up, dealing its current HP as damage to all opposing cards. If you have a factory reset, it will of course put it back to its first turn, and it is at the end of its 3rd turn, you'll deal its current HP as damage. That means if it's at 1 HP, it'll be 1 damage to everyone, and if you heal it to 30, it'll be 30 damage to everybody. Swooping from the skies, the Vulture appears. 5 HP, 2 damage with its carnivorous claws. After attacking, if the card you hit is below half its original HP, then guarantee kill the card. So a card that's 10 HP, if you hit it and then they are below half of their original HP, it will guarantee kill that card. If they are at their half HP point, it does not guarantee kill them. And that is even if you miss the attack because of a fog machine or a fly or something else. Scorching a path into the game, the Welder joins the guild. 10 HP, 2 damage, Scorched Earth. Any card you hit will be welded together, so damage to one of them will affect all of the other welded cards. Looking at a quick example, the 2 damage will be done to the -4, which would then set it to weld. You can do this simply by getting a pen and writing a W underneath it or on it, anywhere to show that it is welded. Then the next time it would hit, it could hit somebody else welding that card, and when it gets hit, that would also hit all other welded cards. Now, this weld will continue even after the card dies. So if the welder is dead, and it has already hit all 3 of these cards, then any damage to any of them will hit all of them. Of course, a tub is able to remove this welded effect, along with the fact that the tub is immune to being welded, because it is immune to all debuffs. From Rusty Wizard's Spell Factory that brought you Shrink Potion and Spell Mutation comes 2 new spells. First, Lock and Key Potion. A permanent spell, placed on any card, locking its HP and damage so it can't gain HP or damage above its current ones. If we had a fly here with Bloodshed, I could lock it before it gains any damage, meaning it would be stuck at 1 HP and 1 damage, so if it ever heals or gains damage, it would not take effect, because this is the maximum it is allowed to go. Of course, it is able to lose HP and lose damage, it just can't gain above this current ones. The other spell Rusty Wizard Factory has rolled out is Ability Intolerance, a permanent lifespan spell. Play on any card. That card's ability now no longer works, and they cannot charge attacks. This goes for any card, and it will immediately take effect, stopping their ability. Of course, you can play on any card, so if you had a Zeus or Frozen Rex and you wanted to get rid of their ability that hinders them, you could do that. Are you hungry for more? Because I hope you save some room for dessert. A nice, cold-blooded, savage sandwich. 6 HP, 3 damage, bacon, lettuce, and teeth. After killing a card, add its last HP and damage to yours. So if they had increased damage, when you kill them, you would get that increased damage, along with how much HP was left on them before you killed it. A terrible curse has been brought upon a mysterious fear, introducing the Bubonic Plague, a permanent lifespan spell. Play on any card, poisoning it, and every turn you'll deal damage to all of the infected cards, and you must infect another card. The damage will be equal to the number of infected cards. So to start, you have to play on any card, and at the end of every your go, it will deal damage to them, then it will spread. So on its first turn, it will deal 1 damage to the card that it's on, then it will infect another card. You can do this simply by getting a pen and writing, for instance, a P. I would use a green pen. Now, it must always spread to a card, which means if there's no opposing cards left to spread to, it will have to spread to your cards. Of course, you get to choose which card you'd like it to spread to. And it will deal the amount of damage equal to infected cards. So if all 4 of these cards are infected, it'd be dealing 4 damage. Now, even when the original plague is gone, everyone who was infected by it will still be infected. However, it will just stop spreading. Any cards that are ejector seated cannot be infected when it needs to spread, because technically they're not there. Along with, if you ever ejector seat the Bubonic Plague, won't be able to spread anywhere. Won't be able to spread anywhere. Of course, a tub can remove any infection off of any card, or it can just straight up remove the Bubonic Plague from the original card. The last card coming today, distant cousin of the Scaredy Cat. It is the Copy Cat. 9 HP, 1 damage, scratch. After attacking a card, copy their current HP, damage, and ability. An example here, I could use the Copycat, deal 1 damage to the Minotaur, putting it at 10 HP. I would then copy the 10 HP, and copy the 1 damage, and then copy the ability. Just because I've copied somebody's ability, my ability still is active. You will always be able to copy an ability, even if you already have somebody else's. Now, I'm a Minotaur, which means I can hit all 3 of these guys. Of course, I can only copy 1 person, and you cannot copy across people. So, if I want to copy the ability of Skull Sorcerer, I must take everything from that Skull Sorcerer. Taking a look against Rusty Wizard, I could deal the 1 damage, putting it 3 HP. I would then copy the 3 HP and 6 damage. Then, on my go, assuming I was still alive, I could hit him with the 6 damage, and because it was on 3 HP but I killed it, I would copy that 3 HP, so you would copy the last HP it was on if you've killed it, along with their stats. You will always copy their last HP, unless, of course, they have Adrenaline. Adrenaline lets you live after death, putting it at 0 or less HP, which means if you hit a card that was in an Adrenaline state, it would put you at that 0 or less HP, immediately killing the Copycat. Of course, you're copying their current damage, so if you had a Jack in the Box that had increased damage to, let's say, 7, and when you hit it, you would get that 7 damage, along with its ability. Now, you get the ability, damage, and HP, even if you miss the attack. Of course, if you were to hit any card that doesn't have a written damage on it, for instance, the Island or the Cooking Pot, then you would go back to your 1 damage. Of course, you would still be copying their current HP and their current ability. Interestingly, you must keep increasing damage and HP cards separate to its original one. For instance, if I had these and I was to heal, I would write it separately as plus 2 HP, and the Champion Spirit gave me plus 3 damage. I would write that separate to my original damage. This would then mean, if I hit a card, I'd be dealing 4 damage. Of course, that 4 damage puts it at 7 HP. I would then copy that 7 HP, but I would still have the increased HP of the plus 2, because I've healed. The healing is kept separately, so you can continue to copy people, along with copying the damage. Otherwise, you would lose any damage and HP that you healed. And that was dessert. I hope I have satisfied your hunger. Leave your favorite in the comments below and tune in next month for the Fairy Tale February update. Enjoy.